Today we're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to make this header even better. Okay, so we now have this whole header section spanning the entire width. It's this purple. This content is all white, white, white. Okay, perfect. I'm going to change this right here. Okay, and we should see everything show up again. Okay, cool. So let's play around a little bit more with this. We want this level up tuts to take up. Let's see, the image itself is 287 pixels. We want this to go to a certain amount of columns. Let's check out skeleton. Since this is 287 pixels, looks like 5 columns, if you hover over the grid, is just not enough. So we'll go to 6. And then we'll want the other item, the search bar, to be pushed over to the right. But let's not worry about that. Let's go to the logo. Let's go to our header here. And we're going to say this logo here is also going to have a class of 6 columns, 6 space columns. So it's giving a class of columns and a class of 6. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down here on this H2 as well. Now let's check out our page, refresh it, and you'll see this stuff shut up. Because if you remember, when you add something to your grid, it's floating it, so it's taking it out of the document flow. Cool. Okay, so we have this this logo here. It's going here. We want this search bar to be over on the right. So if we remember, we have 16 total columns. Therefore, this is taking up 6 columns. So therefore, we have 10 columns to have this be here. If we want this to also be 6 columns wide, we're going to have to push it over. So let's check out skeleton. And you can see that you can push columns. So let's see this offset. Oh, I'm sorry, this doesn't like it when you click on it. You see this down here, 5 columns offset by 1. This offset by 1 is pushing it over 1. So let's come back to our code here. So let's first do something quick. I'm going to take the search bar, this top search. I'm going to take it outside of the, well, not outside. I'm going to put it below this quick access stuff. So by cutting this line that says PHP echo get this child top search, this is the search bar. And then we have the welcome message, the top links, the store language, all this stuff here. I also want this a welcome message to get out of the quick access because I want this stuff to be a little bit cleaner. So I've cut that out. And now just above this top container, I'm going to paste it in there. I'm going to save it. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to refresh. Okay, this looks sort of crazy now, but this what do you want to buy is right here. We can put this wherever we want now. This stuff is still, it sort of doesn't know where to go because of how this is floating. But let's give this the HTML classes it needs, and it will push in the right spot. So we want this quick access. We want this to have a class of 6 as well, because we want it to be 6 columns wide. So we'll say 6 columns, and then we'll say offset. I think it's underscore. Well, let's check. It's hyphen, offset hyphen by 1. Actually 4, because we have 6, and then we'll offset it by 4, and then 6 more to equal a total of 16 columns. Come to our site. Let's go to refresh this. Cool. So now we see our quick access. It's pushed aside 4 columns. It's up against the right here. One more quick small thing. You'll notice that this is getting a margin to the left because we're saying 6 columns, and this quick access is getting a margin to the right. We actually want these to be snugged all the way up against the wall. We don't want an additional gutter on the end. These margins are called gutters, by the way. So we're going to add a class of alpha to our H1s, and we're going to add a class of omega to our quick links or quick access. This alpha omega stuff is pretty standard. It's from the 960 grid system. It's a way that they use to say if this is the first item, use alpha. If it's the last item, use omega. That way it lines up and it doesn't have gutters. So let's refresh this. And if you hover over these now, you'll see that this no longer has a margin right, this no longer has a margin left. We're one step closer to getting this site going. So we have our header tag, our H1, our H3. We got some good HTML5 stuff going on. But as we keep going, the site's just going to get cleaner and cleaner, and it's going to start to just look a little bit more like a real website, okay?